Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave, and today we're going to be looking at Sergio Ramos and where he should go next. The great, legendary Real Madrid centre-half is set to leave the Bernabeu, but where should he move next? PSG? Man City? Manchester United? Get into the comments below, of course. I'm Statman Dave on Statman Dave Clips. Please hit that subscribe button if you are new. It's time for the video. Right, guys, it's now time to dive into Sergio Ramos. We're going to be talking about his player profile, and then we're going to be diving into clubs of where Sergio Ramos will fit in. Sergio Ramos, of course, a legendary defender. The man has won the absolute lot. When we're talking lot, sometimes we use that as a statement of intent. This player's won the lot. Sergio Ramos has literally done it. When you take a look at his on a CV, the man is an absolute winner. Won La Liga a whopping 5 times, the Copa del Rey twice, the Champions League 4 times, the Super Cup 3 times, the FIFA Club World Cup 4 times as well. With Spain, won the World Cup and the European Championship twice. So 2008, 2010 World Cup, and then a 2012 Euros. The man has won everything. He has literally won everything. One of the top goal-scoring defenders of all time as well. Penalties, free kicks, headers in massive games. And I think that's one big thing about Sergio Ramos. How clutch this man is pretty incredible. From a point of, let's jump into Champions Leagues of yesteryear. Champions League of we're going to go to 13-14. Clutch in the final. Let's take a look at 14-15. Another decent display. Let's jump into the next time they won it. So 15-16. The start of La Decima. Let's go to the final. Goal in the final. A massive, massive goal in the final. And when you look at players and sort of, turning up at the right time, these types of, players don't come around a lot. And when you have one in your squad, you're really lucky. That goal was massive. Scored in added time, I do believe. Scored first, actually. First goal of the game. 15th minute. Then Atletico came back. Carrasco went on, equalised. It went to extra time, went to penalties, and Ramos scored the 4th. Penalty in the shootout. Ronaldo scored the 5th and they won 5-3. But big display. Let's take it to the year after as well. In the final, this time against Juve. Didn't quite get the job done from a goal scoring perspective, but won 100% of his tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 block, 3 clearances. Very, very dominant on the ball. 91% pass accuracy in a final. Sergio Ramos knows how to do it in these big moments. He really, really does. And then let's take a look at the 17-18 final. Against Liverpool, another massive display, defensively, offensively, but a little bit of gamesmanship. Took Mohamed Salah out the game. That sums up Sergio Ramos as a player. A little bit dirty at times, but knows how to get the job done. And a wonderful defender, superb, defending the wide areas as you'd expect from a player, a centre-half in the modern day. You can't survive without that. But in 16 years at Real Madrid, 22 major honours and 101 goals. Sergio Ramos will definitely go down as a legend at Real Madrid. So I think the interesting side with this PSG team is kind of they probably do need a leader in the squad. Obviously, with Thiago Silva leaving for Chelsea, showing his leadership quality into the knockout stages of the Champions League, I feel like that's kind of where PSG needs to do some work. So let's take Sergio Ramos in his classic number 4 shout. So obviously, they've got Marquinhos at centre-half. They've got Kimpembe. So there's 2 players there that have done well. I'd probably say you'd be going Marquinhos, Ramos, if Ramos were to join the team. Alternatively, you keep Kimpembe at the back, and you put Marquinhos into midfield. I think that's how good Marquinhos is. Can play comfortably in midfield, maybe with Paredes, Verratti at the tip. Then you've got Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, and of course the fullbacks are a massive point of concern. We've currently got Bacca on one side, and of course Florenzi on the other side. I think that's something where, for me, PSG should be looking for a fullback. I think the midfield is good enough. I feel like they may need to upgrade in that position. as much as we've seen some good performances at times from, the likes of Kazawa in the Champions League, it just feels like Ramos would come in but not solve their problems. I think at centre-half, they've got Kimpembe is a good player at times, and I think as well, you've got Marquinhos that can play that position. So it's kind of that thing that if you were to be brought into PSG, you probably see Marquinhos into midfield, and then Ramos just bossing that back line. And maybe you'll see something better play from Florenzi. But also, I think at left fullback, they need to be looking there, looking to sign someone with a bit of quality. Obviously, Sergio Ramos rejoined PSG as well, that could come into fullback. Obviously, number 24 at Tottenham. Maybe he'll play that aggressive role, and Ramos is going to have to defend the space in behind, something he does really well. But I think what you get from Ramos is that dominance out of the back. So one club that he could go to, PSG, filling the void left by, of course, Thiago Silva. Let's move on to more clubs that would suit Sergio Ramos now. Let's move to Man City. Of course, Man City have put in some really good displays defensively this season. Fantastic in the Champions League. There is a lot of movement, according to reports, for Man City. A lot of players that are going in and going out. So could be a bit of a challenge for City getting him in and working on where he fits within the side, because I think that's kind of City's problem at the moment, is there's a lot of quality throughout the ranks. And when you're looking at their defensive side, you're probably saying, okay, someone to come in and be the Nathan Ake replacement in the squad could be the thing. And then you're talking that City would have, this fluid 4-4-2 shape that we kind of known from City that does rock into a 3-5-2 or a 3-2-5 in attack. But you've got real quality centre-halves. Obviously, Diaz, Stones have been the guys this season that have shone. But you're thinking Laporte's in there. You're thinking that bringing Ramos in from Real and then having him as well. Like, you've got 4 unbelievable centre-halves in there. You really do. Unbelievable centre-backs. I do think, though, you may be killing the momentum of the partnership. Obviously, Stones and Diaz have been so good this season that would you want to change that? And with Laporte needing more game time, obviously come back from injury and that, it could be an issue. So it is whether Sergio Ramos will be happy to sit on the bench and then come in at certain games when they need a little bit of leadership. I think for City, leadership in the final, Champions League final, was definitely something they were missing. I think he could come in and bring that for them. Maybe you play him just in the Champions League, you give him, let's say 20, maybe 15, 20 league games, but you play him in every Champions League game and he's a Champions League defender. That wouldn't be too bad because he's obviously got that ability in and around, great at covering in fullbacks, as we know, and City obviously like to build with a 3 now. It would be interesting to see, obviously, his ability to hit long switches will help City's wide players as well in those instances, and it's always coming up with a big goal. One of the things that City lacked in that final, as well with Kevin De Bruyne going off, was a threat from corners. Ramos, obviously, with his 101 goals for Real Madrid, that is a massive threat from a defender. Absolutely incredible. So definitely an option. Sergio Ramos for Man City could be the vibe, could be where they're going. But I don't think it's fit. There's a lot of defenders there. It'd mean that Nathan Ake's gone. It'd mean that Laporte would be gone as well. But of course, negotiations for Harry Kane, negotiations for Jack Grealish. Do they want to spend money on a centre-back? Probably not. So finally, let's take a look at Manchester United. 4-2-3-1 is the given shape for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Bruno at 10. Cavani, Rashford, Greenwood at the moment. Obviously, Jadon Sancho could be the missing piece. But in terms of, we're comparing someone like a Victor Lindelof or an Eric Bailly with Sergio Ramos, is completely different standards and game. What Ramos would bring United is leadership from the back. And I think that would help the likes of Scott McTominay. That would help Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It'd help the people that are locally on him. It'd help Harry Maguire become a better leader. It could be a really good signing. I think the interesting side with United in terms of the composure, but where they've kind of struggled in a sense at times is dealing with a West Brom, with a Jean up front. Dealing with a physical target man has caused Victor Lindelof problems at times. Balls into the channels, players directly running at. That fear factor that United have in defence sometimes. Sergio Ramos would just eliminate that. And I think that would be a great signing from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The only issue, obviously, is that the money that you're going to spend on his wages, and also, can he handle life in the Premier League? I probably think he definitely can, to be fair, because he looks very, very good. but it would potentially be a little bit reckless. I kind of think that. So it'd be a good signing. But then you're looking at Mengi, you're looking at Tuanzebe, it's stunting their growth. Does it fit? But anyway, guys, that's been Sergio Ramos. Where he should play, where should he fit in to different clubs. That's a little bit of a transfer profile of the great, legendary Real Madrid defender. Thanks for watching, guys. Of course, if you are new, hit that subscribe button. We're closing in on 10k subs. You want to be part of the first 10k? Get involved. Statman Dave Clips. We're here for the rest of the time. Let's get this party started.